Have you ever noticed that the more deeply you think, the more disconnected you feel from everyone else? It's like the world runs on surface-level conversations, weather, schedules, trends. And when you try to introduce something deeper, people tense up. They change the subject. Or worse, they look at you like you're the one being strange. You're not imagining this. History is full of people who saw too clearly and suffered for it. Socrates spent his final moments drinking poison because Athens couldn't handle his questions. Hypatia, a brilliant mathematician and philosopher in Alexandria, was torn apart by a mob. Even Galileo, who merely pointed a telescope at the sky and told the truth, spent his final years under house arrest. These people weren't wrong. They weren't dangerous, but they disrupted a comforting illusion, and that makes people uncomfortable. The deeper your thoughts go, the more friction you face, because true insight is slow. It's quiet. It requires attention, something we've all been trained to withhold, and so deep thinkers often find themselves in a strange place. You understand more but connect less. You see patterns but have fewer people to share them with. You feel things more intensely, but those feelings make others uncomfortable. This isn't a flaw in you. It's a mismatch between depth and a world designed for speed. And while that mismatch can be isolating, it also means your awareness is rare. And in a world this noisy, that's something to protect, even if that meant silencing a difficult truth. Cognitive biases make this even more complicated. Take the Dunning-Kruger effect, where people with low ability overestimate their competence, or the backfire effect, where people double down on false beliefs when faced with evidence, or confirmation bias, our natural tendency to seek out information that supports what we already believe. All of these work together to protect the ego, to preserve comfort, to maintain consensus, even if the consensus is wrong. In that kind of world, a deep thinker can feel like an intruder. And today, the environment rewards simplicity more than ever. Scroll through any social media feed and you'll see it. Content that gets the most attention is usually short, loud, and emotionally charged. Algorithms don't reward nuance. They reward certainty, outrage, speed. Athletic skill? Applauded. Even wealth can inspire envy, but it rarely feels like a personal attack. But intellect? That's different. Intelligence exposes gaps. It illuminates what others have missed, and nobody likes to be reminded that they missed something obvious. Especially in groups. One-on-one, a curious conversation can feel exciting, but in public settings, everything becomes a performance, and status matters more than truth. In fact, a Stanford study showed that people tend to dismiss smart individuals more in group settings than private ones, because in a group, a sharp insight isn't just a contribution, it's a spotlight, and most people don't want to stand in its glare. This isn't about malice, it's about survival. For most of human history, being part of the tribe was everything. If you questioned the tribe too much, you were cast out. And if you were cast out, you didn't last long. Our brains evolved to avoid exile at all costs. Arthur Schopenhauer once said that intelligence isolates a person, not because they want to be alone, but because they begin to see things others don't. When you notice contradictions, patterns, hypocrisies, you can't unsee them. And when you speak them out loud, suddenly you're not insightful. You're intense. Too much. Too critical. There's a reason for that, and it isn't just cultural. It's psychological. Human beings don't just hear information. We feel it. And when someone presents a thought that challenges what we believe, we don't experience it as a gentle nudge. We feel it as a threat. Neuroscientists have discovered that the amygdala, the brain's fear center, lights up when people are exposed to ideas that contradict their worldview. Not just when facing violence or danger, but ideas. The brain, unable to distinguish between social and physical threats, reacts with fear. This is part of what makes intelligence socially tricky. Physical strength. People admire that.